Greetings, Darklings. This is Laura Valentina, and I'm creating my latest audiobook for your listening pleasure entitled The Limo. There are many paranormal experiences that have gone on in my life, and just wanted to share them with you. This particular audiobook is about a friend of mine that they have known me since 1986. And they had a band in the 90s. Yes, they had a band in the 1990s. But they've known me before their band. So we've been friends ever since 1986. And I wanted to share them and our experiences that we've had within our lives together. Vampire blood rituals that we've done on a telepathic, emotional, and astral level. Kind of reminds me of The Shining 1980 film, where telepathically you speak from one mind to another. Telepathy is like you feel emotions from one mind to another. Somebody could live like very far away. You can still talk to them through their mind by telepathically. Even though they have been in person, we've talked, in person, but mostly, we talk on a telepathic level. And it's just going to be experiences about when they were in their band, before they were in their band, just our experiences together. So the first diary entry I would like to read is, let's start with the limo, since this audiobook is titled The Limo, among other topics that I'll be talking about within this audiobook. So this particular diary entry, I had wrote 3 rewrites. One is the rough draft. The second one is basically like a revision, and then the last one is just the final write of it. And it's about in 1991, their band had a hit song, and they were filming their music video, and they were filming their limo scene. Well, that limo scene that was filmed, that was across the street from my grandfather's house. They were a tenant of my grandfather, and across the street from their home was a neighbor that they were a limo driver, so they utilized the limo within that particular scene. I got to see their limo scene filmed in its entirety. So when you actually see the music video as a music video, the actual scene is the limo scene that they filmed is intercut within that music video. I saw it in its entirety because I was there that day, and I got to see outtakes, so it was a lot of fun. They were on they had surgery, so they were on pain medicine, and they were on, let's see if I can pronounce this, promethazine. It's promethazine. It's a very, very powerful pain medication that they were on. And so after, the scene got filmed, which that scene was the last location that was filmed. Their limo scene was the last location that was filmed for that video. Not the last scene of the video, the last location that was filmed that day. And so when you see the actual video itself, it's not the last scene of the video, it was just the last scene that was filmed. And it's intercut within that music video. I got to see it in its entirety. So I'm going to read you all three of those, and then I'll read you the Vampire Blood Ritual. Okay, let me get this. Okay, this is titled Inspired by Intense Sensuality by me, Laura Valentina. Now, throughout the years, they have sent me visions to my mind's eye, like all the time. My mind's eye, my third eye. You can call it your third eye. I call it my mind's eye. Their visions they send to my mind's eye this evening, a few moments ago. Their beautiful memory of when I was younger, 1991, their song that hit number 1 in that year, their video of that song that they had me on the set of that, and their scenes in that video. I sat across from them in their limo, watching them with their model in the sapphire blue dress and black high heels. And as they were in their scenes in the limo, as I watched them together, and they told me to be quiet while their scenes were getting together for that video of that song, that number 1 hit song in 1991, that they would give me something beautiful, that after their model in the blue dress left for the day, they took me in the beautiful limo and was very soft and sensual with me. I was very young. I was 11 or 12, and they were 21, 22. Their soft kisses upon me, hearing their soft, deep whispers in my ear. Their soft tongue traced my ear as they have me at their soft seduction of their desire for me for many years. And at that moment, in that limo of their hit song in 1991, in that limo of that video of their number 1 hit song, we were together for hours, after hours into the evening. They had the limo driver drive for hours and hours to be very alone with me. They had the limo driver drive us for what felt like forever. In their soft, sensual manner with me in that limo that day into the night. It was beautiful, gorgeous, dreamy, made me feel so special.
Yeah, all together. Try one more free.
The Traveler.
They made me feel so special. It was beautiful, gorgeous, dreamy, and I felt so beautiful as I was young, as sexual things to me, even at my young age, they taught me that sexual was a central detail in life. They confessed their inspiration of their verse in that song. They wrote was many sexual encounters that they had with me for many years before that video was ever made. In 1986 to 1990, I was young, only 6 to 11 years old. In those time frames, while I was with my friend, we would play hide and seek. They would take me to my friend's darkened closet with them, had me stand in front of them in that dark closet with them. I heard their sensual, sexual sounds of them releasing to me, and also other times I was at my grandparents' apartment that they were a tenant of. I was in their apartment they rented from my grandparents. I was in their shower. I heard them releasing to me as I got into the shower. They were there, and I got to be older in school. They confessed to me that verse they wrote in their number one hit song was about me. As they confessed this to me, they were in front of me in my room at school. It was night, and they were on my bed, confessed to me. As they released to me, they had me watch them in their state of religious ecstasy. They confessed to me in recent years that even though I was young then, on the set of their video of their number one hit song in 1991, I was 11, 12. And their various sexual encounters with me in 1986 to 1990, I was 6 to 11 years old. They were a decade older than me, and how, if I was older, they dreamed of me being their model in that video of their number one hit song in 1991. Now, I'm well of age. Their visions to my mind's eye that they send to me on a daily basis, especially this afternoon, and now as I write this, is they desire me as their model in a beautiful red dress with black high heels, with my pink hair, my makeup with lavender eyeshadow, and mauve lipstick, my Asian eyes, my Asian petiteness, them and I together, as they have my face up against the limo window, and their soft, faint whispers in my ear as their hands massage me until I submit to their touch, their soft kisses. Always, upon me as they desire to have my face up against the limo window, and them doing whatever they've always dreamed of with me since that day in 1991 in that limo with them, of their video of their hit song of that year. Only today it will be us together in an intense scene of both softness and dominance. Inspired by a sensual encounter in that limousine by me, Laura Valentina. In 1991, after their model left for the day, my memory of that day, the most beautiful sensual detail that stands out to me is what occurred, what sensuality went on of me and them together after their model that donned their sapphire blue dress, black high heels, had left for the day. This is the after. It was in the afternoon that day, after their model left for the day. My conversation with them was about how their model in the sapphire blue dress was towards them that day. So this goes on with the conversation that them and I had that day. That model was snobby, wasn't she? Yeah, she was. A snot-nosed snob. I'm glad we are alone, as I said, to be quiet during my scene with that model, as this is our music video in 1991, our number one hit song. Keep in mind, I was 12 years old of age in 1991, and they were 21, 22. I'm glad you were a good girl during my scene with that model. She wasn't very nice, was she? As I said, since you were quiet, I'm going to give you something special. I remember their hand on the limousine velvet bench seat. It was soft black velvet, soft against my skin. Their hand motioned on the limousine velvet seat for me to be next to them in a very sexual way. Though I was very young, 11 to 12 years old, they were 21 to 22, not knowing what sex or what this was or any feelings of sex that had an impact. Those feelings of sex had an emotional effect. That's what I associated sex in an emotional detail because of how it made others feel. And those feelings have on all levels, emotional, mental, and physical. I was very young, not understanding those feelings about sex. I knew that they were very knowledgeable about that. It was more of a teacher-student detail as they did things to me in that limousine in a sexual manner. More so, what was seen in their music video in 1991, their number one hit song, they took me on their lap in that limousine. I felt their hands softly caress my young body, soft kisses upon me, gently, very soft with me. their hand creeping up my young thigh, kissing my neck, my face, as I was on their lap in that limousine that afternoon, feeling sexual by their touch, although not knowing what those feelings were. I know now that those feelings are today. Though I'm older, I understand how I felt those feelings. That afternoon, that limousine of their number one hit song in 1991. They then lay me on the velvet bench seat, slowly, gently. Their kisses and caresses were more sensual, more feminine, as they were more feminine, like they took estradiol, hormone replacement therapy. They slowly took off my clothes, only parts, not all at once. They asked me before they did, "Can I? May I? Is this okay?" I answered them, "I guess so. I guess it's okay." Only because I know I was young, not knowing. Their mouth upon me, they said they were ravishing me. They administered oral sex on me. The sexual sensations by their soft touch from their hands, mouth, and fingers gave me such pleasure, even though being very young, not knowing, understanding what these new sexual sensations by them to me were, not comprehending as I was very young.
YouTube Music is a music app made by you.
Skip in 4.
Music companion that lets you choose what mood.
Skips, button, and intent. The Traveler, Shed.
They whispered in my ear as my body reached orgasm. Every time I was with that model in a sapphire blue dress, I thought of you. All I wanted was you, my darling young girl. And now, my scenes with the model are done for the day. I can be alone with you now, finally. You're so beautiful, my baby girl. Your wetness from you tastes good to me. Their tongue slowly licked me there. They whispered in my ear, "I'd never hurt you. I only want to bring you much sensations that are sexual." They were on me, moving on me slowly, their sweat from their skin as they were in that scene. Their wardrobe, they wore a tuxedo. From their scenes they did with their model that was in a sapphire blue dress that afternoon. Their sweat was of sweet musk, very masculine and feminine. They were reaching orgasm. They lay on back opposite me and are on the floor next to me on the limousine bench seat in orgasm, ecstasy, enjoyment of their sexual sensations they felt I brought them. My jabby cotton panties, they slowly took off, opening me up to their mouth. They administered oral sex on me until I creamed their mouth. Their hands caressed my young Asian body all over. I felt like my body and mind were swirling because of the sexual sensations they brought me to this new sexual sensations. The orgasm they gave me was powerful, rushing through me, cascading through me. My legs, they kissed softly, they next to me on the floor mat as I lay on the velvet bench seat of that limousine. They, in a sexual daydream daze, because of their sexual encounter with me that afternoon in that limousine, they did their scenes with their model wearing the sapphire blue dress. They in a tuxedo, and me sitting across from them in that limousine, that dazed sexual afternoon of heat, sweat, sexual encounters with me. Day after their model left for the day, the various sexual sensations experienced, sexual encounter with me that afternoon that they had with me in that limousine that day. They, in a sexual daze of sweat and orgasm, I heard the limousine door open. It sounded as people, their bandmates, outside trying to open the limousine door and drag them from there. They were in a sexual daze of the sexual encounters of them. They time-lapsed in that sexual daze, like a high they got from our sexual encounter we had in that limo scene. They did their scenes, their #1 hit song music video of 1991, time-lapsed, and they were in a sexual daze on the floor mat next to me as I lay on the velvet seat of that limousine. They, in that sexual daze, then asked me, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" Is anything I did to you okay? Are you okay? What just occurred? These were the questions that they were asking me, an 11-year-old in 1991, and they, 22, in 1991. I lay there on that limousine velvet bench seat, sweaty from them and their sweet musky scent, just feeling and understanding what just occurred of myself and them together, their sexual encounter they had with me that afternoon. An afternoon in that limousine by me, Laura Valentina. On that afternoon of that day of being on the set with them, their bandmates' music video of their #1 hit song in 1991, that limousine with them that afternoon, this was after hours when their model in the sapphire blue dress left for the day, the conversation of them and I together. Keep in mind, I was 11, 12 years old. They were 21, 22 in 1991. That model was snobby, wasn't she? Yes, she was a snot-nosed and mean. Yes, she was snot-nosed. They motioned me on the limo velvet bench seat. Come here, sit next to me. They took me on their lap. I'm glad we're alone in this limousine together. You know I would never, ever hurt you, my angel. Their hand massaged me for a while as I felt anxious. I'm kidding because I'm on their lap.
If you want to join the community,
And in 5.
you belong at Chamberlain University.
The Traveler, Shed.
Are you feeling anxious, baby? Yes, I am. Here, I'm gonna give you something that will help you feel less anxious. They gave me something that I describe as making me feel calm, like I was in a dream state, like my mind in the clouds, in dreamland, because I was feeling sleepy and alert at the same time. Their hands massaged me now more. Their hands on my thigh, up to where they want to touch me there. I feel their mouth on mine, soft kisses on me. As I fell sleepy, they lay me on the limousine bench seat slowly. You know I could never hurt you. Can I touch you there? Can I touch you there? Since I was feeling asleep of what they gave me, my answer was, I guess. So, not really understanding what sex was, only learning from them. Now in that limousine, their mouth slowly ravished my young Asian body, feeling their tongue there. Is it okay if I can take your, referring to my virgin flower print, jappy schoolgirl panties? I said, yes, I guess so. You know I could never hurt you. They were gentle, soft, slowly taking that part off of me. Their mouth, tongue, fingers slide in me, tasting me to what I felt their mouth be. Very sensual, soft with me there. I felt my body shiver with sexual sensations of what I now can say was beautiful, an orgasm. One sensation I didn't know because I was so young, 11, 12 years old, and they were 21, 22. My young Asian body trembled with pure pleasure from their mouth, tongue, fingers that afternoon in that limousine, that day after hours on set of their music video of their hit song in 1991. My young Asian body just shuddered with sexual sensations that made me feel good, just like the lyrics from that song that was their number one hit song in 1991. They then were on top of me, shudder with intense pleasures, watching me as they grind on me. They orgasm softly, like they were on estradiol, hormone replacement therapy. They were transgender, male to female. I felt their bodies shiver softly, their soft kisses on my neck, my young Asian body moving with theirs in time. We came together, we orgasmed together in that moment. They were now high from our sexual energy, from our orgasm together. They on the floor mat next to me in that limousine bench seat. They're in a sexual trance state from our experience with them. I'm in a sleep mode, alert, slowly, out of what they gave me to relax. That afternoon, my young Asian body lay there on that limousine bench seat, feeling their hands, fingers along me as they come off their sexual high with me. They tell me, they whisper in my ear, "Are you okay?" Did I do something to you? What? Are you okay? Wake up, wake up. Wake up, baby, my angel, wake up. I said, no, I'm fine. They said to me, it's starting again. I don't know what happened here. Oh God, it's starting again. Are you okay? Yes, I'm okay, I'm fine. They had an emotional attack or blackout, not remembering and having amnesia of this sexual experience with me. Their bandmates outside that limousine opened the door as they were trying to get us out of that limousine that afternoon. One of the bandmates asked me if I was okay. I said, yes, I'm fine. The bandmates angrily asked them, what the hell were you doing with her in that limousine? She's only 11 years of age. They emotionally, now their other bandmate took them out of that limo. They rolled down that window down to their bandmates from that limousine. She's mine. Leave us alone together. They told the limo driver to drive through that afternoon into the night with me on their lap. My Asian body felt good by their soft touch that day into the night. That amazing together. Now in the future, they want to take me in that limousine now that I'm of age, wanting me to wear a red dress, black high heels as their model in a re-envisioning of their number one hit song from 1991, Only Now. That afternoon was beautiful. So those were the three. Each one was kind of different because I had to go by my memory and what they had told me. They had to, I had spoken to them by phone in January a few years back, and they told me all the memories, every single memory that they had of me. So I had to write all that down. They would send visions to my mind's eye, and then I would just write, whatever vision that I had saw. And then each rewrite that I did of the limo, they had to, I wrote it down. So it was, and I have, wrote it in my diary. So, I think everybody keeps a diary. So even today, when I'm in Walmart, and they had mentioned to me by phone, about a vampire blood ritual, which I have a few poems that I like to read for you.
YouTube
Of
Premium
that.
is ad-free. YouTube.
In flight.
You can watch anytime, anywhere. Try 1 month free.
The Traveler.
So,
Shed.
let's see. Okay, so this one, okay, I'm gonna read you, okay, so I'm gonna read you, let's see, hold on a second. There's so many things I want to share with you, my darklings. Okay, so I'm going to read you a diary entry that I wrote, and then I'm going to read you a poem that I wrote from that diary entry. Okay. This is about our vampire blood ritual. They mentioned to be by phone when I spoke to them by phone and in person. We do this on a astral, ASTRAL, emotional, and telepathic level. A lot. But I wanted to read to you a diary entry that I had wrote about it, about our vampire blood ritual that we do on an astral, telepathic, and emotional level. All right. Hold on. Their visions to me that they send to my mind's eye of vampiric ecstasy, love bites. They bite me even more deeper, so I'll bleed more for them. Vampire ecstasy. And when they bite me on my shoulder, I feel just so beautiful. In my living room that I call the Blue Lounge, I have candles. They're LED candles, so they're flameless. I turn the candles on so that my living room in the Blue Lounge is atmospheric for our vampire blood ritual. A certain sense that if I went to Walmart, these particular scents are, they basically have memories attached to them. And every time that I go through the candle aisle of Walmart, these particular scents that I actually have, clove and sandalwood. It has the scent of bandages. Amber and rose also has the scent of bandages that we use in our vampire blood ritual. Sea salt and sage has the scent of roses and thorns, that they use the thorns of the blood red roses to penetrate my veins to drink my blood from. It's like a water scent. It's called aqua. It has like a rain scent to it. Reminds me of the 1991 Limo experience that I just read to you. Honeysuckle glow has the scent of their apartment, and other scents too. Their apartment that they were a tenant of my grandfather. Other scents that they mentioned to me are it's like a vanilla scent. It has the scent of how when they kissed me when I was in their apartment, just very musky. The other one was lemon verbena, a very sunny, bright scent. It reminded me of that bright, hot, sunny day of 1991 of their limo experience. There was a lime scent, and it had the scent of their shower that I was in their apartment. Let's see. There was one scent, it was called charcoal. And that scent in particular had a very, very strong thunderstorm rain scent. Very sensual, very erotic. So all of those scents that I just mentioned have like memories attached to them, and they told me about all of those scents. And so anyway, okay, here's the actual entry, the diary entry of our vampire blood ritual that I wrote, and then I'll read you the poem that I wrote from that entry. They, my friend that had their band in the 90s, knelt in front of me. They take the thorns of the roses, the blood red roses, penetrate my veins to extract my blood that they drink.
The YouTube Music app has mixes made.
Skip in 4.
Seriously, every single one. Get YouTube Music Premium.
The Traveler, Shed.
The blood red roses, they take the thorns of those blood red roses to extract the blood that they'll drink from my veins. They take me closer to them, feeding off of our erotic energy and the blood that they drink from my veins. After that, they use bandages that they put on my veins to close the wound. Their mouth on my face, neck, shoulder, love bites on my shoulder. Them drinking blood from my shoulder, vampiric ecstasy, vampire moments, us together of our vampire blood ritual, us together in that limo that they had in 1991, but they want to revision it like today, like they take me on the bench seat of that limo, taking my face up against that limousine window, feeding off of our erotic energy, that transfer, our erotic energy of each other, strong sexual energy of them and I together. Okay, now I'm going to read you the actual poem that I wrote from that diary entry. Roses and Thorns, a Vampire Blood Ritual by Laura Valentina. By me, Laura Valentina. It's just us, together, in my living room, the Blue Lounge. I am on my futon, you knelt in front of me. I'm warmed with sensual excitement of the roses and thorns you got for our vampire blood ritual. We are doing this evening. We use these thorns of the blood red roses of you to penetrate my veins, to extract my blood, for you to drink of, then deeply kiss me with my blood on your succulent mouth. As you penetrate my veins with the thorns of the blood red roses, I feel paralyzed by our sensual excitement and erotic energy transfer of us together. Candles light my living room of the Blue Lounge, and a deeply mint rain thunderstorm scent fills the atmosphere. After our vampire blood ritual, we make love from our hearts and souls as we are one soul intertwined together. Okay, so, and then I have a few poems that I'd like to read to you that are in reference to the vampire blood ritual that I wrote many years ago, and that they helped me write all of these poems. So, let's see. And a lot of them are in reference to the 1991 limo experience that we had together. This one in particular, so I wrote a few books, and I have them, I'm reading them like I wrote as an author, and so I will put, and then I made audiobooks of them too. If you go to my channel on YouTube and you go to my created playlists, it says Laura's Audiobooks. And I did a few of them. I did Diary of Dreams. I did an audiobook on that. I also did one on Roses in the Rain. I did an audiobook on that one. I did one of Musk and Roses. And Valentina Diaries. So with all of those, I did. This particular poem that I'm going to read to you is from, and you can listen to those too in my Laura's audiobooks. And if you go to my YouTube channel, go to Created Playlists, and go to Laura's audiobooks, you'll, I'll put like where you can actually find them. I won't put the links, but I'll tell you exactly where to find them. And okay, so this particular poem and the cover art of this audiobook is done by my dear friend, the DarkWolf. And I'll definitely put the link in the description of where to find their page of the actual artwork, cover art for this audiobook. Thank you so much to the DarkWolf for creating such beautiful art. And I think that you will really enjoy the artwork, my Darklings. It's beautiful. So anyway, this particular poem that I'm going to read to you is from my book that I wrote called Diary of Dreams. It's my friend that had their band in the 90s had helped me write these books that I just mentioned. So anyway, this particular poem is from Diary of Dreams. It's about the 1991 limo experience of them and I. It's called A Dream of Light and Shadow. Dear Diary, last night my dream was strange. It wasn't in color. I dreamed in black and white, in shadow and light. My dream.
And intent. The Traveler Shed.
My dream took place in another time. It was classy. I was in a limousine with the most handsome soul. We made love. Their hands taking me to different places I'd never been. The moonroof opened and I felt the fresh night air rain over me. The sweet scent of the air was intoxicating. I awake from this dream, drenched, not with sweat. I awoke from this dream in my own juices and their sweet taste upon me. I wrote a whole bunch of different ones. Hold on. Okay, so this one is a poem that I'm going to read to you is from my book, Desire in Vain. It's called Rush Factor, and it's about demonized vampire blood ritual. I sat upright in the chair. You take the thorns from the roses, penetrate my veins. As you took my life force into your mouth and drank it. Until you experienced what I felt, a higher state of consciousness. I sat upright in the chair and felt the rush again. The rush I crave felt like the rush you gave me when the thorns of the roses penetrate my veins. The thorns of the roses penetrate my veins, give me such a rush. I need to live. When you drink my blood from me, I feel so beautiful. Here's another one of our vampire blood rituals. It's from Desire in Vain, another book that I wrote. This one is titled Long Stem Thorned Roses. A dozen long-stemmed roses arranged in a silver vase with burning blue candles. You take one, administer the thorns to me, to my veins, mixing pleasure with pain. Blood is the symbol of our love. Drinking it has more means to us. Us equals me and you. Us with a capital U. You wanted more, so I gave more to you. One of the many better nights of us we spent together. That night, the full moon shines brighter. It lights up the midnight sky, and with you by my side, I felt complete. You are my everything. That night, its memory, a beautiful scar in my mind that I shall always remember for eternity. Alright, let's see. This one is called Velvet Pleasures, another book that I wrote. I'm going to read you just a few things from here. It's about my friend that had their band in the 90s, them and I, our experiences together.
YouTube Music app lets you discover
Skip in 4.
First, get YouTube Music Premium.
The Traveler, Shed.
Velvet Pleasures, self-titled poem. Your silky smooth voice in my ear, your deep whispers telling me to undress for a night of extreme, pleasurable moments. They will drift off as the beautiful scar in my mind of shadows and light about us together. As we lay close, holding each other, you atop of me, holding me, pressing up against me, moving softly, then aggressively, your tongue run down me, along me. Velvet Pleasures. Okay, so a few poems from this book I wrote called Roses in the Rain. This one in particular called Roses de Sangre, which means roses of blood. It has to do with our vampire blood ritual. Sangre, red roses from the store with red wine. Ruby port, the best port there is to drink. A romantic interlude that I love about you. My finger pricks the thorns of the roses that you give me. You lap up my wound that you put bandages on. The scent of those bandages is very sexually intoxicating. Your mouth soothes the burn that I feel from the thorns. The healing begins with you. All right, let's see. Okay, this one is also from Roses in the Rain. This one is called Tu sangre es mi sangre. It's called Tu sangre es mi sangre y mi sangre es tu sangre. In English, that translates to your blood is my blood and my blood is your blood. You and me drink from the same fountain. That's our veins that we drink from each other. Blood flows out of them. We go out to eat, to get a steak dinner. We revel in the passion of how we feel when we absorb blood from that steak. The steak is rare, is savory and salty juices. I watch as you drip the blood from your mouth. Erotic indeed. I kiss you at every moment. Absorb our erotic energy. That's intoxicating.
Earn a respected degree at W
And in 5.
$2,500 scholarship.
The Traveler Shed.
Okay, this one in particular is when I was really young, and I already told you that I was at their apartment a lot. They were a tenant of my grandfather. This one is, okay, the scent of vanilla is like the scent of how they smelled like, when they kissed me. And this one particular memory that they had told me about when they were talking to me on the phone in January a few years back, they said, and they also sent this memory to my mind's eye as a vision. And that's why I was able to write about this in my book, another book I wrote, Musk and Roses. The title of it is called, they are into BDSM, bondage, domination, sadomasochism. They want to be called daddy. That's like in reference to their dominance to me. In this particular poem that I wrote of that memory, all daddy wants to is kiss you. All daddy wants to is kiss you. So that, they helped me write in Musk and Roses. That particular poem is basically, I was at their apartment, and they were a tenant of my grandfather's, and I was like really young, like 11, and they smell like vanilla. So it's like they said, I know you're shy. Can I just kiss you? And I just remember their mouth on me. And then they said, can I touch you? And then they reminded me of what they did to me in their 1991 limo scene after their model left for the day. They said, can I just kiss you? Can I just touch you? You let me touch you in the limo. You let me do a lot more to you in the limo. They referred to their 1991 limo scene after their model left for the day, all the things that they had done to me, all the things I had just read to you. So this particular one is called All Daddy Wants Is to Kiss You. They wanted me to call them daddy, like a dominance. Like they are dominant over me. They were into BDSM, bondage, domination, sadomasochism. Were your words to me at your apartment? I felt your kisses upon me, your soft kisses upon me through tasting very sexy, your tongue in my ear making me cream myself, and your fingers inside me spreading me open, feeling your heat. The arousal was getting me wetter and swollen with sex and sweat. And your words to me were, you know that if you were, we can do a lot more. Okay, this one is called Crushed Cherry. It's in my book, Musk and Roses. This one is in reference to the 1991 limo scene. This is after their model left for the day. I call them daddy because they are into BDSM, bondage, domination, sadomasochism. And they whispered in my ear, I know how you feel different, maybe are just pleasured by me. You're first, and that makes me want you more. Right now, just thinking of you, that night triggers their arousal, how I feel for you, how I am towards you. I loved it when you lost yourself in me, how I lost yourself, they lost control, you lost your cherry that I gently crushed. When I penetrated you with my fingers, mouth, your wetness, giving me pleasure, crushing your cherry more. And that was in reference to their 1991 limo scene. That was after their model left for the day, and that was about that. So a few other little tidbits. Let's see. So there was a few times. Let's see. So like in their band, like before their band.
YouTube Premium is ad-free.
Skip in 4.
Music app altogether. Try 1 month free.
The
Okay.
Traveler. Check.
So in 1996, when my first encounter with them, they were very, just very loving, very sweet to me. And then they got a job. This is before their band that they had in the 90s. They basically had gotten a job at a place called the Vacation Bible School. And they worked there. And I remember going there after school or, in the summertime. And they would, give me extra stuff, like extra snacks. And then they would take me into the room. They had these rooms they had in the back area, along with the little chapel. And they would take me during nap time, and they would do all kind of sexual things to me, like touch me and all that. And I remember just bits and pieces of it. So anyway, and then there were other times, like when they were in their band, one of my friends that really loved their band, their sister got them to, go to her birthday party. And I was invited to her birthday party because I was her friend in school. And they were there. Actually, I met all of them and their bandmates, like even before they were in their band. So they actually, my friend that had their band in the 90s, the one that does the Vampire Blood Rituals with me, had spent the night that night. And this was in 1996 when they had their third album out. And so they spent the night while their other bandmates took my friend's sister and, let's just say had their way with her. And so anyway, they were there and they were very sensual, giving me foot massages, making me feel really nice. And just throughout the years, they are transgender. They actually have had bottom surgery in October of 2019. So they are a post-operative trans woman as of October 2019 because they had their bottom surgery in October 2019. So as of that, they are a post-operative trans woman. They are an anatomically correct post-operative trans woman as of October 2019. So, and then, I remember their voice being very, very high, and because they were on estradiol, and in 2019, I saw them a lot. This one particular night, after it was Friday, December 20, 2019, I went to Ruby Tuesdays. And they were there. This is after they had their bottom surgery that they had in October 2019, so this is a few months after. And they were there with a bunch of their friends, and I knew it was them because I heard their voice. And they knelt right next to me, and they whispered in my ear, "Hey, beautiful angel, how are you?" And I gave them a big hug, and they kissed me on the face, and they sat next to me, and they told me all about, with their bottom surgery, and they massaged my back and my ear. They made me feel so good. And they've always had dreams of taking me to Versailles, France. Versailles, France. France, and seeing the Eiffel Tower and, just things like that. And I said some really beautiful, sensual things in their ear that I had whispered. And then I got home. I got a taxi home. And, before I left, they looked at me, and I'll never forget this. They looked at me and said, "You have pretty eyes." And they were, I got a taxi home, and then when I got home, they knew where I lived. So they were at my apartment, and I was like half asleep. And, they said, "Did you eat?" I said, "No." And they sat next to me on my futon, and I had something to eat. But, when I go, we've always had, them and I, we've always had this telepathic communication, kind of like The Shining, where you can talk through mind to mind, or telepathy, like thoughts and feelings, which I have telepathy and telepathy with them. I'm at Walmart, and I'll be in the candle aisle, and I'll go through all the scents. And I guess I send them different visions to their mind's eye, because they send me visions to my mind's eye about all the different scents that I smell. The sea salt and sage is the thorns and roses of our vampire blood ritual. Sandalwood and clove, and amber and rose are a sense of the bandages that they use on me of our vampire blood ritual. The aqua is kind of like a rain scent. That's the scent that they were wearing that night, that day of their 1991 Limo scene that they did for that music video of their number one hit song in 1991. And they were dressed in a tuxedo. And honeysuckle glow. It smells like their apartment that they had rented for my grandfather. So those are just a few things, my darklings. I love you. I hope you have a wonderful, beautiful day. And and even to this day, we still talk to each other either by phone or telepathically or telepathy. So my friend, I had their band in the 90s. I love you forever, my darklings. Have a beautiful afternoon. I love you. Love, Laura Valentina.